From the Baha'i Library, these are extracts from the 7 Valleys as revealed by Baha'u'llah in Baghdad. In this mystical work, Baha'u'llah describes the stages of the soul's journey to union with its Creator in terms of 7 valleys of search, love, knowledge, unity, contentment, wonderment, and true poverty and absolute nothingness. Some have called these 7 valleys, and others 7 cities, and they say that until the wayfarer taketh leave of self and traverseth these stages, he shall never reach to the ocean of nearness and union, nor drink of the peerless wine. The first is the Valley of Search. The steed of this valley is patience. Without patience, the wayfarer on this journey will reach nowhere and attain no goal. Nor should he ever be downhearted. If he strive for 100,000 years and yet fail to behold the beauty of the friend, he should not falter. It is incumbent on these servants that they cleanse their heart, which is the wellspring of divine treasures, from every marking, and that they turn away from imitation, which is following the traces of their forefathers and sires, and shut the door of friendliness and enmity upon all the people of the earth. One must judge of search by the standard of the Majnun of love. It is related that one day they came upon Majnun sifting the dust and his tears flowing down. They said, "What doest thou?" He said, "I seek for Layli." They cried, "Alas for thee! Layli is of pure spirit, and thou seekest her in the dust." He said, "I seek her everywhere. Haply somewhere I shall find her." The true seeker hunteth not but the object of his quest, and the lover hath no desire save union with his beloved. Nor shall the seeker reach his goal unless he sacrifice all things, that is, whatever he has seen and heard and understood, all must be set at naught, that he may enter the realm of the Spirit, which is the city of God. Labor is needed if we are to seek him. Ardor is needed if we are to drink of the honey of reunion with him. And if we taste of this cup, we shall cast away the world. On this journey, the traveler abideth in every land and dwelleth in every region. In every face he seeketh the beauty of the friend. In every country he looketh for the beloved. He joineth every company, and seeketh fellowship with every soul, that haply in some mind he may uncover the secret of the friend, or in some face he may behold the beauty of the loved one. And if, by the help of God, he findeth on this journey a trace of the traceless friend, and inhaleth the fragrance of the long-lost Joseph from the heavenly messenger, he shall straightway step into the valley of love. He shall straightway step into the valley of love, and be dissolved in the fire of love. In this city the heaven of ecstasy is upraised, and the world-illuming sun of yearning shineth. and the fire of love is ablaze. And when the fire of love is ablaze, it burneth to ashes the harvest of reason. Now is the traveller unaware of himself, and of aught besides himself. He seeth neither ignorance nor knowledge, neither doubt nor certitude. He knoweth not the morn of guidance from the night of error. He fleeth both from unbelief and faith, and deadly poison is a balm to him. The steed of this valley is pain, and if there be no pain, this journey will never end. In this station the lover hath no thought save the beloved, and seeketh no refuge save the friend. At every moment he offereth 100 lives in the path of the loved one. At every step he throweth 1,000 heads at the feet of the beloved. O my brother, until thou enter the Egypt of love, thou shalt never come to the Joseph of the beauty of the friend. And until, like Jacob, thou forsake thine outward eyes, thou shalt never open the eye of thine inward being. And until thou burn with the fire of love, thou shalt never commune with the lover of longing. A lover feareth nothing, and no harm can come nigh him. Thou seest him chill in the fire and dry in the sea. A lover is he who is chill in hellfire, and knower is he who is dry in the sea. Love accepteth no existence, and wisheth no life. He seeth life in death, and in shame seeketh glory. To merit the madness of love, man must abound in sanity. To merit the bonds of the friend, he must be full of spirit. Blessed the neck that is caught in his noose, happy the head that falleth on the dust in the pathway of his love. And if, confirmed by the Creator, the lover escapes from the claws of the eagle of love, he will enter the valley of knowledge. He will enter the valley of knowledge and come out of doubt into certitude, and turn from the darkness of illusion to the guiding light of the fear of God. His inner eyes will open, and he will privily converse with his beloved. He will set ajar the gate of truth and piety, and shut the doors of vain imaginings. He in this station is content with the decree of God, and seeth war as peace, and findeth in death the secrets of everlasting life. With inward and outward eyes he witnesseth the mysteries of resurrection in the realms of creation and the souls of men, and with a pure heart apprehendeth the divine wisdom in the endless manifestations of God. In the ocean he findeth a drop. In a drop he beholdeth the secrets of the sea. Split the atom's heart, and lo, within it thou wilt find a sun. There was once a lover who had sighed for long years in separation from his beloved, and wasted in the fire of remoteness. From the rule of love, his heart was empty of patience, and his body weary of his spirit. He reckoned life without her as a mockery, and time consumed him away. How many a day he found no rest in longing for her. How many a night the pain of her kept him from sleep. His body was worn to a sigh. His heart's wound had turned him to a cry of sorrow. He had given 1,000 lives for one taste of the cup of her presence, but it availed him not. The doctors knew no cure for him, and companions avoided his company. Yea, physicians have no medicine for one sick of love, unless the favor of the beloved one deliver him. At last, the tree of his longing yielded the fruit of despair, and the fire of his hope fell to ashes. Then one night he could live no more, and he went out of his house and made for the marketplace. On a sudden, a watchman followed after him. He broke into a run, with the watchman following. Then other watchmen came together and barred every passage to the weary one. And the wretched one cried from his heart and ran here and there and moaned to himself, "Surely this watchman is Israel, my angel of death, following so fast upon me. Or he is a tyrant of men, seeking to harm me." His feet carried him on, the one bleeding with the arrow of love, and his heart lamented. Then he came to a garden wall, and with untold pain he scaled it, for it proved very high, and forgetting his life, he threw himself down to the garden. And there he beheld his beloved with a lamp in her hand, searching for a ring she had lost. When the heart-surrendered lover looked on his ravishing love, he drew a great breath and raised up his hands in prayer, crying, "O God, give thou glory to the watchman, and riches and long life." For the watchman was Gabriel, guiding this poor one, or he was Israfil, bringing life to this wretched one. Indeed, his words were true, for he had found many a secret justice in this seeming tyranny of the watchman, and seen how many a mercy lay hid behind the veil. Out of wrath, the guard had led him, who was athirst in love's desert, to the sea of his loved one, and lit up the dark night of absence with the light of reunion. He had driven one who was afar into the garden of nearness, had guided a nailing soul to the heart's physician. Now, if the lover could have looked ahead, he would have blessed the watchman at the start and prayed on his behalf, and he would have seen that tyranny is justice. But since the end was veiled to him, he moaned and made his plaint in the beginning. Yet those who journey in the garden land of knowledge, because they see the end in the beginning, see peace in war and friendliness in anger. If thou be a man of communion and prayer, soar up on the wings of assistance from holy souls, that thou mayest behold the mysteries of the friend and attain to the lights of the beloved. Verily, we are from God, and to him shall we return. After passing through the valley of knowledge, which is the last plain of limitation, the wayfarer cometh to the valley of unity. After passing through the valley of knowledge, which is the last plane of limitation, The wayfarer cometh to the valley of unity, and drinketh from the cup of the Absolute, and gazeth on the manifestations of oneness. In this station he pierceth the veils of plurality, fleeth from the worlds of the flesh, and ascendeth into the heaven of singleness. With the ear of God he heareth, with the eye of God he beholdeth the mysteries of divine creation. He steppeth into the sanctuary of the friend, and shareth as an intimate the pavilion of the loved one. He stretcheth out the hand of truth from the sleeve of the Absolute. He revealeth the secrets of power. He seeth in himself neither name, nor fame, nor rank, but findeth his own praise in praising God. He beholdeth in his own name the name of God. To him all songs are from the King, and every melody from him. It is clear to thine eminence that all the variations which the wayfarer in the stages of his journey beholdeth in the realms of being proceed from his own vision. We shall give an example of this, that its meaning may become fully clear. Consider the visible sun. Although it shineth with one radiance upon all things, and at the behest of the King of manifestation bestoweth light on all creation, yet in each place it becometh manifest and sheddeth its bounty according to the potentialities of that place. For instance, in a mirror it reflecteth its own disk and shape, and this is due to the sensitivity of the mirror. In a crystal it maketh fire to appear, and in other things it showeth only the effect of its shining, but not its full disk. And yet through that effect, by the command of the Creator, it traineth each thing according to the quality of that thing, as thou observest. In like manner, colors become visible in every object according to the nature of that object. For instance, in a yellow globe, the rays shine yellow. In a white, the rays are white. And in a red, the red rays are manifest. Then these variations are from the object, not from the shining light. And if a place be shut away from the light, as by walls or a roof, it will be entirely bereft of the splendor of the light, nor will the sun shine thereon. Thus it is that certain invalid souls have confined the lands of knowledge within the wall of self and passion, and clouded them with ignorance and blindness, and have been veiled from the light of the mystic sun and the mysteries of the eternal beloved. They have strayed afar from the jeweled wisdom of the lucid faith of the Lord of messengers, have been shut out of the sanctuary of the all-beauteous one, and banished from the Kaaba of splendor. Such is the worth of the people of this age. O my brother, a pure heart is as a mirror. Cleanse it with the burnish of love and severance from all save God, that the true sun may shine within it, and the eternal morning dawn. Then wilt thou clearly see the meaning of neither doth my earth nor my heaven contain me, but the heart of my faithful servant containeth me. And thou wilt take up thy life in thine hand, and with infinite longing cast it before the new beloved one. Secrets are many, but strangers are myriad. Volumes will not suffice to hold the mystery of the beloved one, nor can it be exhausted in these pages, although it be no more than a word, no more than a sign. Knowledge is a single point, but the ignorant have multiplied it. The journeys in the pathway of love are reckoned as 4, from the creatures to the true one, from the true one to the creatures, from the creatures to the creatures, from the true one to the true one. There is many an utterance of the mystic, seers and doctors of former times, which I have not mentioned here, since I mislike the copious citation from sayings of the past. For quotation from the words of others proveth acquired learning, not the divine bestowal. Even so, much as we have quoted here is out of deference to the wont of men, and after the manner of the friends. Further, such matters are beyond the scope of this epistle. Our unwillingness to recount their sayings is not from pride, rather is it a manifestation of wisdom and a demonstration of grace. And the wayfarer, after traversing the high plains of this supernal journey, entereth the valley of contentment. The wayfarer, after traversing the high plains of this supernal journey, entereth the valley of contentment. In this valley he feeleth the winds of divine contentment blowing from the plain of the Spirit. He burneth away the veils of want, and with inward and outward eye perceiveth within and without all things the day of God will compensate each one out of his abundance. From sorrow he turneth to bliss, from anguish to joy. His grief and mourning yield to delight and rapture. Although to outward view the wayfarers in this valley may dwell upon the dust, yet inwardly they are throned in the heights of mystic meaning. They eat of the endless bounties of inner significances and drink of the delicate wines of the Spirit. O friend, till thou enter the garden of such mysteries, thou shalt never set lip to the undying wine of this valley. And shouldest thou taste of it, thou wilt shield thine eyes from all things else, and drink of the wine of contentment. And thou wilt loose thyself from all things else, and bind thyself to him, and throw thy life down in his path, and cast thy soul away. However, there is no other in this region that thou need forget. There was God, and it was not beside him. For on this plain the traveler witnesseth the beauty of the friend in everything. Even in fire he seeth the face of the beloved. He beholdeth in illusion the secret of reality, and readeth from the attributes the riddle of the essence. For he hath burnt away the veils with his sighing, and unwrapped the shroudings with a single glance. With piercing sight he gazeth on the new creation. With lucid heart he graspeth subtle verities. This is sufficiently attested by, and we have made thy sight sharp in this day. After journeying through the plains of pure contentment, the traveler cometh to the valley of wonderment. After journeying through the plains of pure contentment, the traveler cometh to the valley of wonderment, and is tossed in the oceans of grandeur, and at every moment his wonder groweth. Now he seeth the shape of wealth as poverty itself, and the essence of freedom as sheer impotence. Now is he struck dumb with the beauty of the all-glorious. Again is he wearied out with his own life. How many a mystic tree hath this whirlwind of wonderment snatched by the roots? How many a soul hath it exhausted? For in this valley the traveller is flung into confusion, howbeit, in the eye of him who hath attained, such marvels are esteemed and well beloved. At every moment he beholdeth a wondrous world, a new creation, and goeth from astonishment to astonishment, and is lost in awe at the works of the Lord of oneness. Indeed, O brother, if we ponder each created thing, we shall witness a myriad perfect wisdoms and learn a myriad new and wondrous truths. One of the created phenomena is the dream. Behold how many secrets are deposited therein, how many wisdoms treasured up, how many worlds concealed. Observe how thou art asleep in a dwelling, and its doors are barred. On a sudden thou findest thyself in a far-off city, which thou enterest without moving thy feet or wearying thy body. Without using thine eyes thou seest. Without taxing thine ears thou hearest. Without a tongue thou speakest. And perchance when 10 years are gone, thou wilt witness in the outer world the very things thou hast dreamed tonight. Now there are many wisdoms to ponder in the dream, which none but the people of this valley can comprehend in their true elements. First, what is this world where without eye and ear and hand and tongue a man puts all of these to use? Second, how is it that in the outer world thou seest today the effect of a dream, when thou didst vision it in the world of sleep some 10 years past? Consider the difference between these two worlds and the mysteries which they conceal, that thou mayest attain to divine confirmations and heavenly discoveries and enter the regions of holiness. Likewise, reflect upon the perfection of man's creation, and that all these planes and states are folded up and hidden away within him. Dust thou reckon thyself only a puny form, when within thee the universe is folded. Then we must labor to destroy the animal condition, till the meaning of humanity shall come to light. Oh, friend, the heart is the dwelling of eternal mysteries. Make it not the home of fleeting fancies. Waste not the treasure of thy precious life in employment with this swiftly passing world. Thou comest from the world of holiness. Bind not thine heart to the earth. Thou art a dweller in the court of nearness. Choose not the homeland of the dust. After scaling the high summits of wonderment, the wayfarer cometh to the valley of true poverty and absolute nothingness. This station is the dying from self and the living in God, the being poor in self and rich in the desired one. Poverty, as here referred to, signifies being poor in the things of the created world, rich in the things of God's world. For when the true lover and devoted friend reacheth to the presence of the beloved, the sparkling beauty of the loved one and the fire of the lover's heart will kindle a blaze and burn away all veils and wrappings. Yea, all he hath, from heart to skin, will be set aflame, so that nothing will remain save a friend. When the qualities of the Ancient of Days stood revealed, then the qualities of earthly things did Moses burn away. He who hath attained this station is sanctified from all that pertaineth to the world. Wherefore, if those who have come to the sea of his presence are found to possess none of the limited things of this perishable world, whether it be outer wealth or personal opinions, it mattereth not, for whatever the creatures have is limited by their own limits, and whatever the true one hath is sanctified therefrom. This utterance must be deeply pondered, that its purport may be clear. Verily, the righteous shall drink of a wine cup tempered at the camphor fountain. O my friend, listen with heart and soul to the songs of the Spirit, and treasure them as thine own eyes. For the heavenly wisdoms, like the clouds of spring, will not rain down on the earth of men's hearts forever. And though the grace of the all-bounteous One is never stilled and never ceasing, yet to each time and era a portion is allotted, and a bounty set apart, this in a given measure. O brother, not every sea hath pearls, not every branch will flower, nor will the nightingale sing thereon. Then ere the nightingale of the mystic paradise repair to the garden of God, and the rays of the heavenly morning return to the Sun of Truth, make thou an effort, that haply in this dust heap of the mortal world thou mayest catch a fragrance from the everlasting garden, and live forever in the shadow of the peoples of this city. And when thou hast attained this highest station and come to this mightiest plain, then shalt thou gaze on the beloved and forget all else. These journeys have no visible ending in the world of time, but the severed wayfarer, if invisible confirmation descend upon him, and the guardian of the cause assist him, may cross these 7 stages in 7 steps, nay, rather in 7 breaths, nay, rather in a single breath, if God will and desire it. And this is of his grace and such of his servants as he pleaseth.